All right, well, hey everybody, welcome. Good to see you guys all here on this Monday night. I just want to do a quick check-in here with some updates from the shop from over the weekend and give you guys just an idea what's going on here this week. A lot of things on the menu, so let's go ahead and dig into it. So first off, let's talk about the office here and what I've got going on right here. I'm working on the environment, as you guys have been able to tell a little bit in the last few weeks, getting the bases up on the wall, and I'm trying to get the bare wall covered there as well, and try and add a little just something to break it up a little bit back there, so it's not so stark and terrible. So getting that taken care of, and also I'm working really hard on my sound setup here so that I can record demos of the basses and the guitars that you see behind you, and have something that's reasonably good quality that I can post. With my horrible playing, of course, but at least you guys get a good sense of what these basses and guitars sound like. So I'll be working on getting some professional demos done, but budget is the key there. So I'm working on getting a budget together so I can actually hire somebody to play these and give you guys a much better demo than what I can do for you myself. So I'll do the best I can. So I've got a lot of stuff done out there this weekend, and the weather was just fantastic. So it was great to just be outside, but it was a really great day to get out there and actually finish up some of the machine work on the canary wood topped GT, which is the double cut, which is going to be a jazz bass. This is a 34-inch scale rosewood fingerboard with the multi-piece roasted maple neck and the mahogany body. So got quite a bit done on this. Obviously got the neck pocket cut and got the neck set in there. And this is without even any hardware yet. So I feel like we have a good mechanical connection there before we even get to adding the hardware. So really happy with how that came out. And look at how just how beautiful that top is. Isn't that something? It really is just gorgeous. I know the AI camera doing its worst up there. Anyway, so you can see how the layers came together there as well. So that's going to be beautiful. So we'll be finishing up a lot more on that in the coming weeks. I do already have I got the frets cut for it already, so those are already snipped up. Going to do the StuMat gold fret wire, so that should be great. And I need to put the wings on the headstock, of course, and we'll get the pickups routed this week, get the bridge mounted, and then get the holes cut for the instrument, for the controls. So get all that taken care of, as well as getting the hardware set up here and get the neck drilled. So still quite a bit of work to do on this one, but getting closer step by step. And yeah, that neck pocket came out wonderful. And you can see there now I've got it all marked up and ready for the next bit of carving. So here we go. There's the canary topped PJ, or excuse me, the canary topped jazz bass, the GT double cut. All right, there you go. All right. So next up, I got to tell you about this find up at California Exotic Hardwoods. Our friends had the place open up on Saturday, and I went up and saw what they had in stock and found this. Now, what we thought it was at first was Zero Code, but after taking a closer look at it, it is not. After taking a closer look at it, this is Cametillo. So same, big general family. I mean, I think it tends to get mixed in a lot with like Mexican Kingwood, which Zero Code does as well. But yeah, I mean, if it was Zero Code, it was already a pretty darn good find to have a couple of pieces this beautiful. But the fact that it's actually Cametillo, even better. I mean, it's a bit more rare, around the same hardness. Absolutely beautiful. You can see how incredibly pretty these pieces are. And yeah, you bet I am going to definitely include the sapwood in that. So how lucky did I get finding these pieces? So looking forward to doing a top on this. So this is going to be the top on that mahogany blank that I still had that was underneath the bench. I thought I was going to use that for the that young lady's base that I'm building for our friend over in Austria, but I found another piece of wood that I liked even better, and I found a top for it up at our friend's place at California Exotic Hardwoods as well. And great story behind that big chunk of wood as well. It was a cast off of his because it cracked and did a few things he didn't like when it was in the drying process. So he set it aside. I saw it in the shop, and he's like, yeah, it's okay. It's all messed up though. I'm not sure what you're working on. I was like, well, I think I can probably do something with that. So I'll show you guys a little bit more in the video later on here when I talk to you guys about the shop updates. I'll give you a little bit more explanation about that piece, but we were able to get this incredible top out of it. So that's what we're going to end up using for that. All right, so let's start with how that came together, and we'll start with that top and the blank and everything. So I'm going to show you how it all came together in the shop video here in just a couple of minutes, but let me just show you the finished product here first. So this is what we found. This came off of that piece from our friend at California Exotic Hardwoods, and this is a piece of beautiful big leaf maple quilted. And there is a lot of quilting. I know that this camera just is not going to do it justice. You can see it already there. I mean, and this thing's barely sanded. It's nasty still and everything. When we get this all cleaned up, it's going to be something. And wait until you see it with the color on it. I've done a color test on a scrap from this, and it's incredible. So looking forward to that. So this is the top, and this is the back. I ended up going with American alder, Western red alder, and it is beautiful. This piece is clear. I got that one little pin up there, which is going to disappear, but you can see this beautiful clear piece. And the reason I went with alder, I was really searching it out, and I didn't want to do the mahogany. Oops, sorry, bud. I didn't want to do the mahogany after all because I wanted to stay a bit more true to the the kind of the pea-based genetics, which is either swamp ash or alder a lot of times. So I was like, you know what? There are some really great pieces of alder at my local Austin's, and they always have great selection in their stack. So I knew I was going to be able to find a really nice piece, and I did. I actually got enough to make a couple other bodies. I liked it so much. So, but it was our friends up at California Exotic Hardwoods that landed me this piece of quilted maple for this top, and yeah, wait till I show you this flippin' chunk that I cut these pieces out of. We have enough to do some really interesting tops with it still. So I'm really excited about what we're going to be able to do. And, we got rid of all of those places where it split. It was way outside the range of where this piece ended up. But they're going to land right on some of the pieces I have planned. That I think are going to be a lot of fun. So give me a chance maybe to play with the epoxy and have a little fun with that, or maybe even just do some inlays or something where those splits were, and do something that really accents it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see what happens. Man, and one other thing happened this weekend is I went and grabbed the fretboard that I made for the short scale, and found that it twisted. It twisted just a hair. It wasn't too bad of a twist. It was enough of a twist where I was going to reject it anyway. But what the worst part was is that right up towards the top end is not only did it twist, but it dried with not dried, but settled into with a little bit of a kink. And I was a little bit concerned about that area because it came out of the area where the grain transitioned a bit. So I knew that there was a possibility. So, I wasn't in a rush to get it glued to a fretboard or glued to a neck blank. And I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with the neck blank yet. But that's why I started early on that piece, because I wanted to let it settle and see what it was going to do. And it didn't work out. So I'll show you that in the video coming up here as well from the shop. But great news is that I still had some really impressive pieces left over from that stash. So I grabbed a new piece and cleaned it up And this is the end result. Now, big difference here though too, because this piece is closer to the pieces that I have on the base that I've built recently, but this is one of the shorter pieces out of that stack. But the big difference is the color. While the other one had a lot more gold and purple, this one you can see. I mean, even in this light here, there's a lot more pinks and purples along with that yellow streaking. So I think for the color we're going to end up with on this base, that this fretboard is going to be even better. And it's just, isn't it beautiful? Isn't that a pretty piece of wood? And yeah, excited to show that to you guys after we get it more finished. So that's the new fretboard that's going to replace that one that unfortunately twisted up on us a bit. All right, so what about that new neck blank? Well, I'm really happy with the way that this came out. I found, again, up at our friends at Auston Hardwoods, they always have a fantastic selection of really nice maple in a lot of different sizes, and I'm always able to find a not heavily figured, you know, I mean they do have some nice figure in them, which I know the camera's not going to pick up here because this piece is so just clean and pretty. But there is a bit of figure in this, and then I had my roasted maple that I had from those master grade blanks. Cut a couple pieces out of there, and then some maple veneer for that center stripe. But these pieces from Auston Hardwoods are wonderful. I was able to check all the way through all of these, and they all look good. No blems or anything anywhere. And beautiful straight grain. Oh, wrong end there. Let me show you that. Beautiful straight grain. Was able to get these nice quarter sawn pieces. You know, it's not always easy. I mean, you get it. It's a retail lumber store. You know, you might have to dig through the stacks a bit. And that's what I do, you know, I get up there and I'm just not in a hurry. So I'm able to go in and take a look through the stacks, and knowing I'm looking for a particular species and I'm looking for a particular, you know, length even, it's got to cover this amount. And then I'm just looking for that right piece of wood that's going to, you know, inspire me to make it into something. So take my time, go through the stacks, find just the right piece of wood to turn into this. And more often than not, our friends up there at Austin's have some great pieces that are ready to be taken home and turned into something nice. So yeah, really happy about this. This blank is just over 1 inch thick. And that's on purpose. I like to have a little bit of a heel, a little bit more of a pronounced heel on mine. Of course, I haven't decided exactly yet what I'm going to do on the headstock yet. I may go the 2+2, which I like to do, you know, and I like the headstock that I've been using, but we may do a little bit of a throwback on this one and do more of a traditional 4-in-line headstock shape on this one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we do here. Want to honor the P base, but maybe have a little fun with it as well. So we'll see. This is that big chunk that I got from our friends up at California Exotic Hardwoods, and this is after I'd done just a bit of machine work to it, not quite a ton yet, but I had sliced off these 2 bits for the top, and went ahead and ran those through the planer here to get them down in thickness, and I wanted to get them down to about 10 millimeters thick. I figured that would be a good place to start, and if they end up, you know, settling a bit, which they didn't, then I'd still have a bit to be able to flatten them up a bit more, and before I did the glue up. But it was all good. They stayed perfectly flat, and I was able to just go ahead and get them prepped and ready to throw a joint on. Went ahead and just took a look at them and just, yeah, which one's going to be the best way to line this up. You know, only had a couple of choices, and I knew which one was going to be the book match, you know, so what was going to get me close. So that was me taking a look at it there. Here you can see my first look at what that figuring is really going to look like, and along with what the old fretboard, before we realized that, that's not right. So went ahead and just took a quick edge off of each of these to make sure that they were perfectly square with each other before doing the glue up of this top. Got it all glued up, clamped up. I love these bar clamps from Harbor Freight, believe it or not. I think they do a great job. So here was me cutting down that piece of alder from our friends up at Auston Hardwoods in Santa Ana. Love those guys, always super helpful, and their stacks are always full of really great lumber to pick through. So really fun place to go on a Saturday morning. So got these 2 bits for the 2 sides of this blank all cut up, and then took these over to the joiner, put a clean edge on, and began the glue up. Glue up's always stressful, even if it's 2 pieces of alder like this. I don't know why, but my heart is always pounding a bit more whenever I start clamping things up. You know, it seems very final. I mean, really, if it's completely hosed up or I did something really wrong, I mean, it's nothing I couldn't run through the bandsaw and clean up and try again, but who wants to do all that work? That sounds terrible, right? So yeah, I guess it's a bit stressful because you want to try and get it right on the first try and just be done. And so this glue up went really well, and I found that the this alder, which I haven't worked with alder much, if at all, over the years, and I found that yeah, it works and glues and machines and everything just really well. So it was a lot of fun to work with. And man, is this stuff lightweight. This body is going to be really light, going to be perfect for this young lady. And that's, again, you know, besides wanting to honor just kind of the tonal qualities of the original PJ and an alder body, I wanted it to be lightweight for this young player. So cut it down to its shape here. I always cut the body shape out before gluing the top on. I like to run it through the planer in its final shape like this, give the wood a chance to release any of the tension before running it through the planer. So I tend to cut it out on the bandsaw, let it sit for a few hours, and then run it through the planer. And then once I'm satisfied and I've got it to the thickness that I want, go ahead and smear on some glue. This is Tight Bond 1, and then get that top glued and clamped on. Again, heart rate goes up like crazy. And always worried about how well it's going to glue up, but again, did a great job here. I got a really good join. And then, oh yeah, the terribleness that is a funky little kink and twist in the fretboard. So so that's that. So yeah, not a bad weekend out there. Feel like I got a lot done. I don't move horribly quickly. I move fast enough. Let's put it that way. I move about as fast as I want to any given weekend, and still really enjoy what I do out there. So, but it was a good weekend. A lot of things really came together. 2 really successful trips to the wood stores this weekend. You know, up to Austin's up there in Santa Ana, and then to our friends up there at California Exotic Hardwoods. Great places, both. A lot of fun to go. Hang out on the weekends and see what you can come across. Never know what's going to inspire. So love going to those places, seeing what jumps out at me. But we are well on our way now with that base for our friend overseas and his daughter. And I am really very happy with how that's coming together so far. I mean, you guys tell me that the quilting on that top, I think, is going to look incredible. Wait until you see some of the color tests that I've been doing with that. I'm not ready to show you just yet because I'm playing with a few things still with it. But once we land on exactly what that's going to look like, I'll definitely be sharing it here with you. Anyway, have a great rest of your week, everybody. We'll check in on you later this week if something fun comes up. Never know what's going to happen. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys this weekend. Have a good one. See you soon.